Invest Nova Scotia supports businesses, helping you thrive at every stage of your journey.
Laura Mae owns and operates Osha Mae Soap in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, where she makes herbal, organic, 100% natural skincare products with a focus on cold-processed soap. With a background in herbalism and aromatherapy, many ingredients she uses are ones that she forages herself. Over the years, Osha Mae Soap has evolved to include facial care, pain relief salves, and much more.
I began this in the early 2000s, and there was no companies, there was no brands that were making truly natural skincare. So you would find, even in the health food stores, I found that there was just always a synthetic fragrance or always a synthetic dye in what might be labeled an organic product. And I knew there was a place for really going the distance to incorporating 100% natural, from essential oils for scent and using herbs instead of dyes for pigment in product in natural soap.
The soap-making process for their top-selling Earth to Ocean soap begins with cutting and measuring various fats, including sustainably sourced palm oil. This is cut and added to a measuring bowl. Coconut oil is also measured out and added to the bowl. These butters are brought to an induction burner to be warmed to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, water is measured and placed in the temperature control station, along with cold packs. 2.4 pounds of lye is measured and brought to the cold station. It's stirred into the cold water, creating a reaction that makes this mixture 250 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. The cold station helps to reduce the high temperature. The oils on the induction burner reach an appropriate temperature and are removed. They're placed in the other awaiting cold bath. Olive oil is measured next, followed by spearmint essential oil. When Laura doesn't forage ingredients native to Nova Scotia, she sources organic herbs directly from where they originate. These are stirred. The temperature is checked on the oils cooling outside. They need to be between 100 and 120 degrees Celsius. Once ready, they're brought to the mixer. The water and lye solution is collected and brought to the mixer too. The fats are poured in the mixing bowl, followed by the water and lye. The bowl is inserted in the mixer, followed by the mixing blade. It's turned on and starts combining these ingredients, while Laura pours in the awaiting olive oil. Sunflower oil is added, followed by more spearmint essential oil. Once the soap mixture can form a trace, then it's ready for more ingredients. Half is spooned into an awaiting pot, and half is left in the mixing bowl. Atlantic seaweed is added to the mixing bowl, and it's turned on again. Pink French clay is shaken into the pot and is mixed using an immersion blender. A layer of this is poured into preset soap boxes. The mixer of seaweed soap is stopped, and a layer is added into the soap boxes too. Once filled, the boxes are settled, as the clay is thicker than the seaweed. Eventually, the sitting soap enters a gel phase. It gets stacked and placed in the incubation station to remain for 48 hours. After this, the soap is placed in a freezer for another 2 days. Then it's removed to begin thawing. Heat helps loosen up the boxes, which are peeled and pried off. The removed soap is stood up in a plastic container to defrost and firm up over at least 1 week. Finally, the soap is placed in a wire soap cutter, separating it into 30 individual bars with 1 downward slice. Even the smaller bars get sold. These are added to a storage rack where they will continue to cure over 3 to 6 more weeks. Once Laura knows they're ready, they're packaged up in cardboard boxes with Earth to Ocean labels applied.
Soap is definitely our mainstay, and it's a lovely product, and people buy this very religiously and for good reason, I think. But also herbal facial care and our pain relief salves have really taken off in the past few years. In person, you can find us weekends at the farmers market. It's the Halifax Seaport Farmers Market, and you can always shop at our website too.
The first herb Laura ever worked with is comfrey, and it's the main ingredient in Osha Mae's comfrey salve. This jar of comfrey leaves was grown and harvested right on site. The material is examined, and olive oil is added to the jar. Air bubbles are removed, and she ensures all the plant material is soaked. New parchment is placed on the top before the lid is tightened on. The jar is mixed up before being set on a shelf to rest for a month. Afterwards, the comfrey leaves and oil are added into a slow cooker, and intervals of heating and cooling are repeated until it's the right viscosity. Now ready, it's time to be blended. The oil is strained out afterwards. A variety of beeswax is measured into a beaker. It's poured into a pot on the induction stove and heated and stirred until it's melted. The comfrey oil is poured into awaiting beakers. Argan and rosehip oil are measured and added. The combination is poured into the pot. Once melted, it's removed from the heat, and a box of jars and bag of lids is added to her work table. Sweet orange, blood orange, and red mandarin essential oils are measured and stirred in. The salve is poured into a filtration device, allowing Laura to pour out exact portions into awaiting jars. Once all the jars are filled, the salve is left to cool until hardened. Then lids and labels are applied, and both Osha Mae products are ready for sale.
People will find us. It is word of mouth, and it's a little secret gem.
Invest Nova Scotia supports businesses, providing the tools and expertise you need to succeed.